You ready, Chloe? I feel like I'm breathing loud. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, that's better. Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Cincinnati. My name is Reverend Connie Simon, and I'm glad that you are here today. Located on the ancestral lands of the Adena, the Hopewell, the Miamia, and the Shawnee people, our urban community welcomes all with love, supports learning and spiritual growth, serves our wider community, and works for justice, equity, and inclusion. We are all glad that you're here this morning. During the service, you may hear mention of programs or people or ideas or events or things that strike your fancy, that you want to know more about. If that's the case, you can send an email to member-care@firstuu.com, member-care@firstuu.com, and we'll be glad to send you more information or connect you to the right folks. We begin our time together by lighting our chalice, the chosen symbol of our faith, with these words by Eric Walker Wickstrom. When we light our chalice, everyone focuses on the flame. Yet it's the paraffin of the candle, the cotton of the wick, the potassium chlorate and sulfur of the match, and the oxygen in the air around us that makes the flame possible. As leaders, we are not called to be a lone beacon on a hill. Rather, we are meant to work together so that we might together shine. Please rise in body or spirit as you are willing and able so that we can sing the church vision song. The words will appear on the screen. We are a liberal religious haven, welcoming wonder and spiritually free. We're sustained by a loving tradition, moved and inspired by the future we see. Boldly seeking and working for justice, gently transforming lives through deeds great and small. Young and old, sharing meaning and mission, we joyfully offer our vision to all. Now turn and greet your neighbor. I never know if my mic's on.
This morning, my consolation is you're going to a better place.
Good morning. I'm Tom.
Stand here on the, I'll just stand on the air conditioning. Huh? Down? Oh, you mean to make it cooler? No, I think it's good. It's just me.
It's all the same.
Oh, well then, yeah. I think it's always just me. But no. Okay. Can I stand here while you...
Yeah, that's a problem for those two
It's a terrible idea. There it is. It's a terrible idea to have me go after. Uh-oh.
Did you guys turn us off on purpose?
Do we got it? Can you hear me? Oh, okay. I was just gonna say it's a terrible idea. No? A, B, C, D. Okay. I was just saying it's a terrible idea to have me go on after you all greet each other because I hate interrupting, and I'll just let you guys do that, you know, forever, and the people who are watching at home are going to be like, come on. But I want you to take a moment to think back on the start of this church year. We had just come out of a summer where we thought things were changing for the better, and we were hit with a new wave. And we weren't quite sure what was going to happen with COVID or what was going to happen with this church, and were we ever going to reopen? Lily obviously thought we weren't. Hi, Lily. But then we did slowly start to reopen, and it was scary, right? It was scary. But a few brave people stepped up during that time to make sure we could move forward. And today I want to recognize those people who stepped forward for our Lifespan Faith Development Program. To start, I want to recognize those people who stepped in when they were needed and gave just one Sunday in our RE classrooms. So Jenny Kruger and Scott Kelly, if you're here, will you come up and receive a lovely bag of fair trade coffee? I imagine a lot of people might not be here, and that's okay. These will be mailed to them later. Now, I want to call up those people who not only gave one Sunday, but stepped in a few times. So, Kim Clokey, Sally Behringer, Kara Uhl, if you're here, will you come forward and get this journal? Get that. Thank you. And those people who stepped in once a month, can you imagine that? Jan Connolly, Janet Shank, and Ellen Wathen, if you're here, could you come forward? We got both Fair Trade Coffee and this lovely journal for you. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to take a break now from our RE classrooms, and let's talk about the committee members, those people who did the work behind the scenes. You know, I get a lot of thanks from all of you for everything that goes on here, but to be honest, I really couldn't do this by myself. For one, I hate making phone calls and asking people to volunteer. So thank you to the members of Family Faith Development who do that. And all of those wonderful TAD Talks you've been enjoying this year, those ideas come straight from our Adult Faith Development Committee. So let me call those people forward to get this wonderful mosaic chalice. Jeffrey Hildebrand, Nancy Sawyer, Tim Kraus, Doug Gerard, Mary Tarbell Green, and Martha Walker. Thank you. Thank you. And then there are a few people who really go above and beyond. So there's one committee member who also volunteers in our classrooms. Patty Kelly, would you come forward? If you're here, might not be here. That's okay. That's all right. And then we have, I'm going to go through the names and then you can come forward. They each do something individually, so I'm going to call them out individually. Philip Shafer, who not only volunteer in our classrooms, but also covered and organized senior high events, not just this year, but last year as well. Rebecca Alhino, who volunteered 11 times in the past 5 months. And then Carrie Morehouse and Amy Bottomley, who are helping make sure that our OWL program goes forward. Amy's actually upstairs right now running OWL, so she's not here, but Carrie, would you come forward? You guys get all 3 of these wonderful items. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
So when I asked folks to nominate people for these awards, I thought maybe we'll get 20 or 30 nominations. That's what we got the first couple of years. This year, we have 80 slides. Yes, which I think is an amazing thing. So, we're going to do this a little bit differently. Most of the parts of the service are going to be pushed aside. Things will be out of order a little bit, and we're going to do our awards in categories. So I'm going to call the names in the categories, and then you can cheer wildly. If you're here when your name is called, stand up. Okay? Sound like a plan? We're going to start with one more award for Lifespan Faith Development that doesn't come from Meredith, but instead is a nomination from Linnea Lose for Rebecca Shafer. And the award is the Children and Young Parents Advocate Award. The explanation is she wants to be a mom, but took on board leadership to build a church for kids like her son. She speaks to us from her heart about the challenges. Okay. Yay. And those are the end of the Lifespan Faith Development Awards. Well, because Meredith did most of them, right? Okay. So it seems like while our kids are getting ready to go to their lessons, we should sing a song. Don't you think? Let's sing This Little Light of Mine 2 times. The words will be on the screen. Maybe. Okay, they're not. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light One more time. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Okay. Seems like a good time to give out some social justice awards, don't you think? All right, let's do social justice. This one is anonymous for Patricia Rohr for doing an amazingly admirable job of leading us as volunteers at South Avondale Elementary. Stay standing. You have another one from Gary Gebhardt, also recognizing you for your work at South Avondale Elementary. And lest we leave out anybody in the family, Karen, stand up. From Gary Gebhardt for your leadership with social justice. Tom, for your continued service and leadership with the Shiloh Food Pantry. Yay for Social Justice Awards. All right, here come the Heart and Soul Awards. Yeah. And stand up when your name is called. The first one is a tie, so a lot of people get to stand up. The Heart and Hand and Canvas teams, please stand up. This one is from Linnea. She says, it couldn't be harder to raise money than when you're in the thick of a pandemic and in the thick of years-long divisive church conflict. Thank you. Another one from Gary. Gary was busy making nominations, I'll just tell you here. To Molly, Laurie, Laura, Denise, and Linda, thank you for your great work with the Heart and Hand auction this year. Dan Schneider and Becky Alheño. This one is anonymous, and this is the Ever Constant and Reliable Award. Because you are. Jenny Kruger, please rise. Another anonymous award that's called the Quietly Engaged and Effective Award. And the reason why is because she is. Let's see. Ginny Casey Leininger. This one is from Linnea, and it's called the Comprehending Covenant Award. Ginny spent nearly 3 years studying covenant, a complex subject that has been out to us for decades and is likely to be the future salvation of this church. Thank you. She's not here right now, but Cynthia Heinrich nominated Chloe Nesbitt with the Best Chalice Lighter Award. She says, I loved when Chloe started being our chalice lighter. It's great to see the kids involved more in the service. So yay, Chloe. 2 more from Gary Gebhardt. The first one is for Joe Rowling, for his caring and his love for all the people of this church. And one for Dan and Janet Schneider, for always thinking of and helping others. Okay, here's one. From June Schliff. It goes to the entire Rohr family for finding amazing energy to do such a variety of things for all of those around them. Thank you. The Facing the Gaps in First Church History Award, offered by Linnea, goes to the Reverend Frank Carpenter for realizing our history of racism, LGBTQ+ oppression, and anti-war activism, for realizing that these stories have never been told, some for good and some for not good reasons. Yay. An award from Mary Tarbell Green for Tim Krause, entitled The Man in the Front Row Who Says Yes to First UU Award. Tim, this is because you are the constant yes to ideas guy. Including yes to I will do sound today. Noriko, you got an award. You were nominated by Linnea for the Music Dependability Award for accompanying the choir. For accompanying the choir and backing up Jera. Noriko is an unsung heroine, and her musical talents are exceptional, yet rarely acknowledged. Linnea was busy too. Tim, you get another one. The Lay Sermon Award, presented by Linnea, for It's in Our DNA, for your astonishing research on the history of conflict at our church. It is in our DNA, just like a family. And one for the entire Park Dendy family, from Gary Gebhardt. There you are. I knew you were here somewhere. You are the entire family, Chris. Thank you for making such great music in our church. I have one award that's not on the list, and I'm sorry I'm doing this to you guys, because I can. One more award, and that is for every one of you who have stepped in and helped out with worship this year. So Barbara and Ramona for singing, for Karen for stepping in and doing worship associate stuff, for all of the youth who volunteered to light the chalice, for everyone who did readings and videos and learned how to do videos this year. Give yourselves a round of applause. All right. It felt like we couldn't talk about worship and spirit and all that stuff without mentioning worship awards. Now, every month we designate our Sunday plate collection to benefit a special cause or local social service organization. This month our beneficiary is the Boys and Girls Club in Avondale, located just a mile north of our church on Reading Road. For over 80 years, Boys and Girls Clubs have served a vital role in providing safe and supportive after-school and summer engagement for inner-city youth. Kids come to these centers after school for tutoring, meals, social and emotional growth, and mentoring. During the quarantine period of COVID, Boys and Girls Clubs provided additional support for academics, and a safe place for kids to access technology as well as tutoring. As we deal with the ongoing uncertainty and challenges caused by COVID and the disruption in schools and after-school activities, Boys and Girls Clubs continue to address the great rise in mental health needs among school-aged children and have incorporated mental health support for these most vulnerable kids. Here's how you can support their work. You can text the word GIVE to 513-717-7373. If you have access to our Breeze member system, you can click the Give Now button. You can give online at firstuu.com. If you give electronically, please use the drop-down box to choose Share the Plate May. And you can always send an old-fashioned check through snail mail, make it payable to First Unitarian Church of Cincinnati with Boys and Girls Clubs in the memo line, and mail it to 536 Linton Street, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45219. If this is your first time visiting, we invite you to let the virtual plate pass you by. Your presence is your gift to us. Our offering will now be gratefully received. Yay, choir. You ready for some more awards? Okay. My goal is that we'll finish a little early so you can grab whatever coffee or refreshments you want, and we can start the congregational meeting in a timely manner. timely manner. Yeah. We're not going out there corralling people. Okay. So let's carry on with some technology awards. Linnea Los nominates Doug Rohr and the tech team with the Triumphing Over Technology Award. All the team. With every YouTube and Zoom meeting originating from 536 Linton Street, it was a huge amount of work and a big learning curve. You've made First Church accessible to people of all places and ages and places. Oh, you get more. Here's another one for you all from Amanda Lynch-Oney. She says, "Thank you for allowing me to go to church in my jammies while also eating breakfast in the comfort of my living room." That is real, folks. Rosie Park wants to give an award to Dave Wallace. This is called the person who works the hardest to find a date that works for everyone in the AV team to meet. No explanation necessary. It took him a long time, and we did meet on Thursday evening, right before the 8th principle. An anonymous award for Sally Barringer, and this is for helping me with technology. So, don't know who that's from, but it's for you. You made somebody's day. Another one from Rosie, and this is our final tech award for Doug. Just Doug. And you'll know why when I say this. This is called the person who answers the most desperate texts on Sunday morning award. I don't think you guys have any idea how many desperate texts get sent from here on Sunday morning at, what, like 9:40 is about when they go out? 9:55, Dave says? Yeah. So thank you and congratulations to all of our Tech Award winners. All right, you ready? The Leadership and Service Awards. There are a lot, because you do a lot. This first award, I have to warn you, it includes a little bit of profanity, but it's nothing you haven't heard before, and you'll be fine. This is called the People Who Get Shit Done When Nobody Else Wants to Do It award. And it is from Debbie Davidson for Kim Clokey. We're going to do a bunch of Gary's nominations right now. For Dick Miltner. Did I see Dick come in? Dick's not here? Okay. This is an award from Gary to thank you for your years of service as treasurer. Dennis, please stand. And an award to Dennis for graciously taking over as treasurer. Ramona Beck, Barbara Bonney, and Stephen Marks. Gary would like to thank you and give you an award for your willingness to serve as board members. Faith Maynard, for your willingness to serve as board president in this year. Rebecca Shafer. Yes, congratulations. Rebecca Shafer for her work with the stewardship process. And one more from Gary to Martha Walker for her role as secretary of the board this year. One from Linnea. This is called the Hard Work Award, and it goes to the entire Board of Trustees, with the note that it was a difficult and busy year, and you never stopped working. Board members. An award from June Schliff for Linnea Loaf for your countless dedication and thoughtful ways of teaching and learning with us. An anonymous award that goes to Faith Maynard and Kim Clokey, and it says, to Faith Maynard with Kim Clokey, close behind. It was a close race, and it's called the I'll Take on the Big Tasks Award, because they do. Kim Clokey and Sally Behringer. Sally. From Linnea, the Impossible Deadline Award. Yeah, Kim and Sally had 3 days to apply for interim compared to most churches that had 3 weeks to 3 months. Their comprehensive and honest self-assessment of our church earned the UUA's respect and ultimately drew several candidates to our difficult situation. And I'm going to have to tell you, you need to give them an extra round of applause, because as someone who had 3 days to do the minister part of it, believe me, they really, really did a lot of work. They asked for so much. Okay, Faith, another one. From Linda and Dick Miltner. Faith has led us admirably through good times and bad. She's been a wonderful president of the board. Allison Irwin. Allison's not here. I think she's still not feeling well. This is an anonymous award. Allison has been a tremendous leader of the Welcoming and Membership Committee, a difficult task during COVID. She's also lent her talents to the team working to create a new website for the church. Here's an anonymous one for Linnea. Linnea's capacity for work and leadership is outstanding. Even at times when she may not be feeling well, she accomplishes more for our church than anyone I know. Her work and leadership with Opening Hearts and the Right Relations Task Force in recent years has helped to make our church more inclusive and more welcoming. She always takes on assignments and responsibilities with clarity of thought and great sensitivity for what is the best way to move our church in a positive direction. And she always delivers deeply thoughtful insights on how we can be better people and better members of our church. Another anonymous one for Amy Bottomley. Brandon, stand up. Stand up, Brandon. Okay. I'm like, just wave your hand because you know her. And that is for all the work that she is doing with the Right Relations Task Force and a recognition of how difficult it is. Okay, I got more from Gary. Lynn Martin, for your leadership, dedication, and commitment, and tireless efforts. I added a couple of those for the security grant and for all the security work in the church. Ed Ryder, for your many, many years of service to building and grounds and to the church as a whole, we thank you. Dave Wallace, for your leadership and keeping the endowment board on track. Last one for leadership and service is anonymous. And I'd like to ask Chris to stand for Chris and Rosie, and Doug and Patricia. This award is called the There Are No Words Big Enough to Capture Your Contribution Award. And the reason why there are no words, because there aren't. That's added. Let's give everybody a huge round of applause for all of these awards.
Hello? Got me? Oh, yes. We're not done. We have very special awards here. From June Schill for Reverend Connie.
Thank you.
For giving so much of herself to all of us. From Mary Tarbell Green. Through thick and thin, ups and downs, sleet and snow, there she is.
Thank you.
From Anonymous, this is moving. I would like to nominate Reverend Connie. She is a true inspiration. People who are gracious often are taken advantage of, but I admire her will and appreciate everything she has done for the church. She adds so much life and texture to the church. She gets things done. In my time of need, she and Meredith helped me. There are very few churches that actually help their members or other people the way they did, and I'm forever grateful. Reverend Connie saved me from homelessness, and I really appreciate her, and it makes me sad knowing she won't be around much longer. I wish her nothing but the best. Another from Anonymous, for making me feel good about life every Sunday morning. From Gary, because she's an award-winning person. And from Linnea, may we find our covenant and our voice rather than our shrill individual voices. And may we find her prophetic voice within the UUA. And from me, thanks for being my friend.
Okay, don't make me cry today. We still have a few more Sundays together. We can't start the tears today. Not today. You already did. Yeah. I love you too. So someone asked me this morning, no, this is not on the script either. Someone asked me this morning, are we allowed to know where you're going? So I'm going to tell you that I had an interim match with the Unitarian Universalist Church of Davis, California. And I will be moving to California. So Ridley and I are going house hunting tomorrow. Because as you can imagine, it's really hard to find a place to live out there. So wish us luck. It'll be a 36-hour trip, and I'll be back on the red eye for a meeting here at the church. So, yeah. Okay. We don't usually do just a walk from one side to the other. Oh my gosh, I forgot the staff. Sorry, Jera. I forgot the staff. What do you mean you don't want to stand up? You got to stand up. Okay, let me get my papers together here. I just put them away. Sorry, staff. Okay. See, you threw me off this morning. Leadership and service. Here we go. From Gary Gebhardt. Of course, from Gary. For Carrie Speece. For her leadership in making our building operations strong. And 3 for the person who won't stand up. The first one is anonymous. Jera is the most laid-back music director I've ever had. She shares her joy of music and gently guides us to do music well. From Linnea, the Music Innovation Award for you. With a small choir and a small budget, Jera finds ways to bring spiritual joy and diversity through music week after week, which you do. And from Gary, thank you, Jera, for making great music. And for Meredith, who's not here in the room. Oh, you are, but you did come in. Okay, everything is just out of whack today. The first one from Linnea, the Allegories Are Us Award. Your stories really are for all ages. They are courageous, and you've repeatedly taught us in a gentle way some challenging lessons about our racism, privilege, and unkindness week after week. From Amber, I would like to nominate Meredith, and then immediately after Meredith, and then Meredith one more time, and then Meredith again and again, because she is such an amazing spirit and person. From Mary Tarbell Green, the Miss Indefatigable Award. She's a mom raising 2 kids and raising us, her UU kids. She's a constant story weaver. And from Gary, thank you for your leadership and reaching out to families during the pandemic. Amber would also like to nominate Kim Whitehead for an award. She says, my second nominee is my coworker, Kim. She plays a large role in the success of the classrooms and how they function. She's also been a longtime employee of the church. She really deserves a raise. She travels over 45 miles to come be with us, and with the price of inflation, we could all use a raise. Keep that in mind. And an award for Kim, Amber, and Stephen together. This award is from Anonymous as a thank you for all that you do and all that you are. You get stuff done. And an award that I wanted to give to, well, I'm going to do this one first. Another one from Amber for Kenny Hopgood. She says, Mr. Kenny does so well helping us, and it's nice to have his positive spirit. He came back into the building after we'd been closed and really helped us clean up. He's awesome. I agree. And I've got one for Kenny that I call the Always Got My Back Award, because he constantly reminds me that he's always got my back. No matter what happens, he's like, I got you, I got you. So this past week, when I found out that we now have a mouse infestation in the church, he said he didn't want to tell me because he's like, I got you. I'll take care of it. Now go home, because he knew I didn't want to see one. Thank you. I'm calling this one the Just Can't Stay Away Award, and I give it to Rihanna Andrews, who served as our work-study student while she was a senior at the University of Cincinnati. She has since graduated and decided that she just couldn't stay away, so we hired her to be our office administrator. And the last one, lest you think I haven't thought about you guys, yours is coming on June 12th, so just be ready. The last one for today is called the Jump In With Both Feet Award, and it goes to Chris Smith for trying to figure out which end is up and trying to follow a tough act like Carrie Speece. And she's doing it. All right. Now have I done all the awards? Okay, thank you. Now can I have more music while I go over there? Okay, thank you. Given the time this morning, we're not going to drop stones in water individually, but rather we're going to acknowledge our joys and sorrows with single stones. It came to my attention this morning that Mike Bozian passed away. Mike and Dick were part of the bedrock of this church. Members since, I think we figured it out one day that Dick actually joined the church within 2 months of my birth. So he'd been here my entire life, he and Mike. And I can still see Mike sitting in the Ellen Hall room. They'd come in sometimes and have lunch with me. And I see her sitting back in the Ellen Hall room just laughing as Dick was telling stories, and she'd be like, no, you know that's not how that happened. They are both missed, and we send all of our love, our appreciation, and our condolences to the entire Bozian family. We drop a stone for Mike, another stone for Dick, and a larger stone in gratitude that they are united in death. These stones we drop represent the joys and the sorrows that happen in our lives during the time that we are apart. Not just things that happen to us as individuals, but things that happen in the larger world. There are so many things that could make us sad. War, mass shootings, violence, fires and floods, tornadoes, so many things. It's easy to feel overwhelmed with sadness sometimes. And yet, there are still joys. There are joys every day, small miracles that happen before us if only we open our eyes to see them. A baby smile, the wagging tail of a puppy, or the soft purr of a cat, a blooming flower, or just the fact that we woke this morning and can take another breath. So this morning, we drop a stone for all the sorrows and all the joys. And sometimes there are things that we just don't know are happening, things that we're just not even aware of, that we're completely oblivious to, for all kinds of reasons. We sit next to one another in this sanctuary week after week and often don't know what's going through the person's head, the person sitting next to you. We don't know what they're dealing with. We pass people on the street and we say, why are they acting that way? Or why are they doing this? You never know what's going on in someone else's life. So for all of those things that we can never know, we drop another stone. And now I'd like to invite you into a moment of silent meditation, reflection, and prayer as we look at these beautiful flowers this morning. These are from Joni Moser, and she writes, "These flowers are in honor of Vincent Moser, who would have been 27 years old today. We hope they brighten our sanctuary the way his fiery red hair and similarly fiery spirit brightened our lives. We send our love to Vinny and to all who have experienced the loss of a loved one too soon. Happy birthday to my dear brother Vinny." Let us now enter into a moment of silent meditation, reflection, and prayer, after which we'll sing Spirit of Life. Lord, to me, come to me. And now we will extinguish our chalice by reading together the words that will appear on the screen. Together we say, "We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again." I invite you all, after our closing hymn, to go grab your refreshments and then come back into the sanctuary for the congregational meeting. We're going to sing a little bit before you go out, though. We're going to sing "We Give Thanks." The words are on the screen.